Hi everyone, and welcome back to CSharpCorner Live. As always, I'm your host Stephen Simon, and we are back once again with another episode of CSharpCorner MVP Show. One of my favorite show, as I always say, because this allows me to go ahead and connect with the community guys who have been contributing on our platform. I get to talk to them, interact with them. So I just love this show. So welcome everyone. I'm really excited. Today's guest is going to be. Yeah, today's guest is gonna be really awesome. We have had some chit chats in the background, and I just can't wait to host him. But before I do that, before I bring him in, there are a couple of announcements that I want to make. The first one is that we have launched the a new conference, that is Nepal Cloud Summit, that's gonna happen in Kathmandu, Nepal. The scheduled date is April 16, 2022, and we will be streaming it from there. So it's more like a hybrid event. Very few seats available to go ahead and attend an in-person event, but definitely will be streaming it. So definitely go ahead and check it out, nepal.cloudsummit.live. It's live out there. You can go ahead and register. Registration is pretty simple. uh, in fact, someone the other day took more than 20 minutes to fill to the form. Kind of complaining, but never mind. So that is the first update that we have for you for this week. The second update is that towards the end of this week, or maybe by tomorrow, you will see coming up one more conference, that is the leadership conference, that is scheduled for March 22 this year. Obviously, it's led by Colin Lake. Yeah, and if you're someone who have been following our C Sharp live shows, Colin Lake is the host of 7 Minutes to Better Singing podcast that we run on C Sharp Live, an absolutely amazing podcast if you want to go ahead and skill up yourself for the marketing and sales skills. So these are the two upcoming exciting conferences that we have. And also, if you have missed it, last week we streamed the very first episode of Azure for Sure, where we featured Buckwitty. And tomorrow we're going to feature Luis, who's going to talk about the open source on Azure. Now, that's all the updates for this week. Now, let's move on to the business and talk about the guest today. So, today's guest is Shubham, and Shubham is an absolutely amazing guy. He works on data science, something that just my small brain cannot understand. He's a C Sharp MVP, definitely. And we're just looking at his profile, and he joined C Sharp only on August 2020. Oh, what a beautiful day. 20 August 2020. Oh, 220s, 320s. And he speaks a lot in different colleges and events. He believes in contributing a lot, and in just 15 articles he has reached more than 500,000 people. So you can definitely see his articles and content are really loved by the community. I just can't wait to bring him in. So without any further ado, let's bring our guest of today's show, Shubham. Hi Shubham, welcome to the C Sharp MVP show.
Hi, Saman. It's been, a honor and a pleasure for me to be here. Thank you and the community for getting me this opportunity where I just not share my knowledge, but also connect with you.
Yeah, yeah. I just love this show. I just feel like no one's watching us. It's only you and me. So we can. Sometimes I just get off track. So Shubham, where are you joining us today from?
So right now I'm in West Bengal. So I'm in my
Wow,
hometown. Yeah.
that's cool. That's cool. West Bengal. I spent good part of my life in Calcutta. That's where I did my
Awesome.
schooling a long time back. But Shubham, before you go ahead and talk all this complex stuff of data science and all, right, and people are tuning to watch it, I want to ask that how did your journey of C Sharp Corner MVP start? When was the first time you came to know that hey, this is a community C Sharp Corner, and when did you actually decide that you're gonna go ahead and start contributing it?
Awesome. So, it all started with the blocking steps of when I was in my university time. So,
Mm-hmm.
first year student heading towards every technology, no matter if it's for you or not. So I was just looking forward what sort of technology should I know on should do to get myself track on career, right?
Mm-hmm.
Luckily, I was in contact with Nitin Pandit, who was MVP of CSharpCorner. Yeah. So he just introduced me to this awesome community.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was part of a C Sharp Corner Chandigarh University chapter. So from there, I got to learn from various MVPs and again, from each and every one of you. And again, I was very much looking forward to meet you at that point of time. And again, still, but I'm really happy
Yeah.
that it did happen and it's happening. So yeah. So at that time, I was learning various things from the community.
Hmm.
So yes, in the mid of university term, I decided to share my knowledge. Okay, whatever I have learned, it's time for me to get back to the community and give back to the community whatever things I can do it for it, right? So in that essence, and got me into the essence of data analysis, data science, and currently where I am, almost on my track. So thought to give back to the community and shared articles and delivering, yeah, events of various universities through CSharpCorner. I really appreciate it.
Wow, wow. I mean, your journey and my journey starts with the same guy. I mean, even Nathan Pandit helped me to get into C Sharp Corner. So actually, my college senior Vivek who introduced me to Pandit, and that's how I started it. So definitely an absolutely amazing guy. Nathan, he has helped a lot many people to get in their career. So thank you, Shubham. We're really happy to have you as a part of C Sharp Corner community, and I just can't wait for your session today, which is around data science universe. I mean, when you say universe, I mean, you're going to cover a lot of it, right? And I just can't wait. So you can go ahead and share your screen and you can go
Sure.
ahead and get started. And until then, everyone who's watching, please feel to go ahead and drop your question in the comments. If there are any questions, we'll take it towards the end of the session. And
Just let me know if my
yeah,
screen is that famous
I
dialogue, if
see a
it's visible
screen,
to you.
Shubham. I have added it to the stream. Everybody else can see it. And next 45, 50, 55 minutes is all yours.
Thank you. Thank you. So, hi everyone. My name is Shubham, and I have been into the works of data science and data analysis for more than 1.5. And I'm being sharing my articles on C Sharp Corner, and I'm looking forward to have this session. The very first thing that I want you to understand over here, uh, that every little questions and every little doubt will be cleared, because I believe if you're investing time in this session, when the session completes, I think you should be able to deliver someone that science information by yourself without any doubt. So I'd be happy and very much, into looking forward for the engagement. If you ask questions, that would be very much great for me. So without wasting any more time, let's just get started. So welcome to the data science universe. Now, what is universe? What is data? And what is science? We will dig it up for sure. The very first question, whenever you dig up into the mind of data science, AI, machine learning, there are so many definitions that are going right now. Even if you look into the various websites, they are delivering the correct thing. I'm not saying not that, but the easiest and the something that you can get to understand is the nearby examples, right? So here it is. So the first question is, what is data science? Well, data science is a field that enables users to get the best insights of the data that are being delivered to them, which may be used to make any decision or to analyze performance. Sometimes it may help you to predict risk data based on the certain criteria. The data that has to be structured in a way that may be utilized in proper manner so that the required algorithms can be applied. Long and lengthy definition. I want you to understand there are certain keywords that I want you to remember and understand. First thing, it enables you to get best insights of the data. Now, best insights of the data means the data that are being delivered to you, it might have a insight. For example, if attendance data is given to you, which are usually done in the university classes, the data that you can get on data analysis is how many of the students are present today and how many of the students can are above 75% of their attendance, right? But if we try to abstract the same data, the same amount of data through the data science techniques, you can even integrate machine learning and can predict that if a student is going to have a 75% of attendance in the exam time or not. Secondly, you can understand the frequency of the student that is attending the classes. That means you can track the students, that if he or she is regular in the class or not. And the very important thing, why data science? Because it enables you to make the decisions. See, the example just I said, it enables you to make decisions, analyze the performance, or to predict some risk. Perfect. But it was a lengthy definition, so I admit it. Let's just talk about data science in just a short, crisp, and straightaway definition. Well, data science is an interdisciplinary unified of statistics, data analysis, and machine learning with algorithms to make sure that the data is being delivered is utilized at full potential. Simple, short. What is data science? It's an interdisciplinary field of statistics, data analysis, and machine learning with algorithms to make sure that the data has been utilized full of the potential. Perfect. So data science is helping not just you to get the best insights of the data, but also enabling various organizations to serve the consumers and in a very way. In the next few slides, we will understand how data science is helping you. And let me tell you before the break of the news that in fact presently you might be using one of the applications of data science that you might not be aware of. So without wasting, let's move into the next slides and understand data science applications, right? So yes, each and every one of us loves to navigate through different places, known places, unknown places. For known places, you know the route, but for unknown places, you want to use the GPS system of your favorite applications. Sometimes, if you drive a car, you want to get the best route, right? Which is the shortest route, which is the very free zone, or you want to get into the place very quickly, so you use the GPS. Uh, so you now understand that okay, this is getting me the it is enabling me to understand the route. But how data science is there? Well, if you are traveling in a place and if it says that there's traffic, so remember, it is showing you that it is traffic at that moment of time because it has received some data from its other users. That data is totally a big data. To get the insights, machine learning algorithms were integrated on it. And the data science enables you to get that abstract of the piece of the data, which may help you directly to answer your question that is that route good for your navigation or should you choose another one? The next is banking. You might be under when you visit a bank or you might try to take a loan. So there is a credit score and sometimes risk score is there. Earlier days it used to get a lot of time to do the same, but right now it's so much fast, so much easy, and so much quick that it not just scores you in a very efficient manner, but also helps you to get the best experience out of that because the data is being again, it just needs to be applied again and again with some integration of algorithms which sometimes could be predictive and sometimes could be for other purpose. So yes, data science is there and is enabling you to get the best user experience for your favorite bank. The third, we come and land up to the world of finance. So yes, now you must be thinking about data science, how it's enabling finance. Well, everything that in this segment that I'm being talking about, like navigation or banking or finance, have data which needs to be, trained, which needs to be tested to get the best user application experience. When you're doing a finance task, finance decision, the companies are using machine learning, companies are using data, companies are using data science to abstract the best decision procedural algorithms for you to enable and understand that what sort of things the best possible decision could be made for your requirement. And yes, moving towards the next is very much is health and care industry. The second being, obviously, this is the fifth one, being talking about the advanced image recognition, which is again applied to computer visions. And then moving towards the airline route planning. Well, when I do talk about healthcare industry, it just needs to be mixed that whatever the things you want for the healthcare, or suppose there is certain suggestion, the percentage of something that is beneficial for your requirement is determined by the previous data. Again, the data has been compiled and applied through data science techniques. That data science techniques enables you to understand and to get best insights of your decision and of the treatment that you're going to get on that time. Advanced image recognition, computer vision. So let me just example, not just explain you, but get you an example of how it does mix things. From very small example is that, for an example, that you are going somewhere and it uses a facial recognition system to unlock certain things, right? So it is computer vision that objectifies and understands your face and does the boom. But sometimes to add more security layers, if you are closing the eyes, if your face is changed or your eyes, you know, just as a take an example, right? So advanced image recognition system with data science is enabling not just to track your face, but acquire more features of your face, adding to the security layers of whatever things you're using right now. That being said, data science is not just helping you to get the best experience, but also enabling future technology to provide you the best technology in class in the state right now. Airline route planning. Well, to be honest, data science is delivering so much into this sector. When the airplane, there are so many times in the real time scenario that the route might get disturbed or the route is not usable, and it helping, even if the companies or even if the organizations understand on the real time, but data science is enabling them to understand before the thing because of the past year of data, helping them not just to serve you better but also make the situation efficient so that you get the best service for the providers. Data science has a huge impact on today's industry. Even you are using an online shopping store to buy something that gives you a recommendation system, something that you might be taking a flight to the route. Even in the morning when you're getting late for the office, you want to take the best route on your car. Each and everything that's been delivered through the data has to be abstracted in such a way that it can get you the best of the best things. And data science is definitely doing that with machine learning and other things that being required. So whenever we talk about data science and data analysis, there is a very important term known as NumPy, especially in Python. So what is NumPy actually, right? Because even if you are starting your journey towards data science, or even if you're starting your, path to data analysis, NumPy is the one you might have already heard of. Even if you're thinking to start off today, I'll definitely, get to the basics of NumPy and to enable to understand the NumPy from the very basic course of the time. Well, NumPy stands for numerical Python, just as the name suggests. Num, numerical, Py is Python. Extension of Python is .py. But yeah, the full form of NumPy is numerical Python. It is one of the scientific package libraries in Python and programming language that provides support for multi-dimensional arrays with also fast operations on arrays. Well, NumPy has a fixed uh, array size creations with core as ND array object facilitating advanced mathematicals. And it enables you to do large mathematical, advanced mathematicals and other large number of the data. So what does it enables? Not just to facilitate your operations with support for multidimensional array, but also enables you to do various things which requires advanced mathematicals and other large number of data. To be honest, if you're starting with NumPy, or let's just skip this question, if you're starting with data science and data analysis, trust me, NumPy is the one you will come across for sure, for sure. And if you're already working in data science and data analysis, and if you're working on tremendous large data, I know you know that NumPy has a lot of things that are not just based upon performance, but also saves time, because it does offers you fast operations on NumPy. Well, when we do talk about NumPy, it is very important for us to understand from very example of NumPy. Like, okay, Shubham, you have told me that enables support for multidimensional array with fast operations on arrays. But can you just elaborate how can it facilitate with advanced mathematical and other numbers of the data? So yes, I can explain, but let's just see with an example right now. So it is one of the examples that I want you to understand, very basic definitions, but I want you to understand and relate with something that I will be saying in the next moment of time. So the very first thing that what we are doing right now is importing the NumPy as NP. Well, NP is just a variable storing the functionality of NumPy, right? So I'm creating an array one here where I'm storing the rank one array, just a 578 for an example, and printing the rank one array. Similarly, printing the rank two array, there is a tuple passed. So I think that this is going to help you out to understand with the output, right? So what we are doing to try is we are first importing the NumPy as NP. NP is just a variable storing the functionality of NumPy, right? So why I'm doing that? So, whenever as a practitioner, whenever we do big programs or which has much longer lines, yeah. So it just helps me to call the NumPy functionality with NP. So you can do whatever variables you like. So it's all in you. So I'm storing something in array one, which is definitely a rank one array, and I'm storing something in rank two array. The output in the output section, you can see if this is the output. So in the rank one, you can see it's printing out quite great, and the rank two also is perfectly done. But sometimes it's not just a single line of array. Sometimes it's a two-dimensional array or two, like the rank array with rank two, and the data is huge. And that data you want to take it as an array. NumPy enables you the same. And that's the reason I've mentioned the example one as array one and two. Sometimes when you're dealing with, the examples of a tuple, you're passing values of the tuples. So during that time, see, when I'm creating an array, there has been a square brackets, and when the creating of a tuple, there have been around, brackets. So I'm just passing the values directly to the NumPy. I'm asking the NumPy to, hey, this is array 3, right? I'm asking array 3, create a NumPy with the passing values of these tuples. So array is created using the tuple, which is exactly the same output as array with rank 1. No matter if you're passing the value with array or if you're passing the value with the tuples, the values are going to be the same. NumPy not just enables you to save time, but also enables you to bring the perfect format you want to do. Even the data was in, big, big number and value. So yes, NumPy is a very much important for you to understand at the very first place. Again, because since it enables not just to solve for big data, but whenever you have the large data and you want to take it as an array you want to create the array of that big data, definitely you will understand the performance of NumPy in Python. Definitely, that is 400% real. So what we are doing right now here, so let's just go back to the definition and understand what we did. It enabled you to create an ND array object, which enables you to have with advanced mathematical and large numbers of data, and support for multidimensional arrays and operations in arrays, right? So it is here it is. You have created data which is not just only solving your problems. Think of the array one and array two of the big data and think of the output that you're getting, right? So NumPy is definitely solving your purpose and definitely solving you with a more precise and efficient way with respect to time also. The next things when I personally, I wanted to do things to load the data or convert it or even manipulate it to get the best experience of the data. Even sometimes it is possible that whenever you're doing data science, obviously the very first thing is you want to load the data, right? So how to load the data into your system? So it has to be some way that should provide support. Well, we'll look into the definition for that very purpose, So what is pandas? Well, pandas stands for Python Data Analysis Library. You mainly used for data manipulations and data analysis. It is again built over Python programming language. It is open source, open source, and very fast and powerful. So whenever we look into the pandas, it is very much important for us to understand the data of the pandas on practical and even more on the theoretical, because first we want to understand why panda. Second, we want to understand how pandas should be applied. So whenever you have started to think about data manipulation, data analysis, you might have come across obviously pandas. And if not, so we will understand the understanding of pandas in a quite chief manner. In this example of pandas, what I'm going to make you understand is, let's just see in the moment. So I'm creating a certain, um, a form of tabular form where I want to store certain numbers, and there are some times that the value is not there. So what does pandas enables you? Should get you an error just because the value is not there, or just because there is something missing? Well, the first import of pandas can be done as PD. Yes, again, that is same as NumPy as NP. So in this scenario, I'm calling the PD because to add the functionality of pandas in the PD. So in the variable a, I am just adding values of a which are in series, then b, and then c. Now, just to keep in mind, what I want you to understand over here is in the c value, what I have done, I have stored 5, and in the b values I have stored 6, and in the a also I have stored 6. Now I want to collaborate and make them sense. Suppose if you think that whatever the PD series is A, B, C, and D, think of these as the name of the students, A, B, C, and D, and E. And think of the first A is the number they have received, the P is the number they have received, or the marks they have received. So I want to understand by collecting all this data to understand in a meaningful data which person has received what marks. So in this thing I have created, how I just created, I have enabled data where I'm asking to assign the value of A to the first column, B to the second, and C to the third. Then I'm creating a data frame using PD. So, DF series created, and I'm asking the system to print. When the compilation is done and it's showing the output, I can understand that the person whose name is A has received these marks, B these marks, C these marks. The thing that is very important you to understand here is in this section they were not having any identity. What do I mean by identity? Identity is something you must have some attributes, some address with you, something that can narrate you directly or indirectly. And that is what I'm talking about as an attribute. And something very important to know, understand is the position. Now I can locate. If somebody asks me, hey, can tell me what is in the second column and in the third row, I can definitely look onto the values and can see the values over here. Second thing that I want you to understand, hey, what's on the first row of zero index? You know? So everything, every value over here has a definite, not just uh, identity, but attribute and location. You just created certain numbers, assign them to certain values, and see that Pandas is solving for you. Pandas is creating something that it can be used for further projects because it has not just enabled its attributes but also enabled its positions. Whenever you need, you want to call one way. So enough of NumPy pandas, enough of mathematical statistics. The very first question I used received from different people, like how much mathematics or how much statistics should you know to start with data science? To start with data science, I believe uh, basics of both the things works, but to with practice and with more knowledge, you want to understand more depth of the statistics part and with mathematics. So to start with something, basic is what I recommend for a smooth conversion to yourself to the first starter of data science. So again, with the purpose of being that said, the more you got to learn, the more algorithms you have to understand, because again, it's not just about talking about numbers all the time. You have to integrate with certain algorithms which are not just going to help you out but also help you to build the projects whatever you want to do, right? So yes, that was for numpys and pandas, right? And now I want to understand the very much unique, that graphical thing, that graphs in data science, bar graph, histogram, how's the magic being created, right? Now, I wanted you to understand NumPy and pandas just because it is the basics things that you should know before I introduce you to the visualization part. Because always remember that the basic things should be clear and crisp, and that's the building steps towards whatever you want to do. And I think that's the best requirement for understanding the pandas. And yeah, now we are onto something, Matplotlib. So, firstly, I would love to connect this thing with you as whenever you are hearing data science or you must be hearing data analysis, the very first thing that gets struck to your mind is graphs or certain visualizations that going upwards, right? Or a certain pie chart or something like that. Well, when you have a big data, you have to do a lot of things which are beyond or working as a backstage in the algorithm progress to get you that fantastic looking graph to enable you to understand what it is and how you should tackle the situation to make the best decision. Did I just did I just repeated the definitions of what is data science? It enables you to get the best definitions. Yes, of course, I did it on purpose because data science enables you not just to solve the data problems, but also use to get best insights of the data with best decisions that you can make. And if you can integrate with machine learning, you can have a predictive data. That being said, let's just introduce you to the Matplotlib world. So by now you might have understood that I'm talking about visualizations. And Matplotlib could be that part where I want you to understand, because just keep your step inside the visualization part of the data science. So after you have finished with NumPy and Pandas, you might be interested in playing with visualization, right? For static and visualizations in visuals in Python. Thus, Matplotlib can be used to deliver or to abstract visuals of data upon required output. I want you to understand here that Matplotlib can be used to deliver or to abstract visuals of data upon required output. The very first keyword over here is required output. If your boss says, hey, make a understandable of the sales, right, um, per month, so it is upon you, you're going to understand through graphs, right, which are relevant to that functions, if not that which are not, right? So it is very much important before doing anything in data science. Again, before doing anything in data science, the very first question is you should ask anybody who is giving you the project or task is what output you're looking for this project, because on that purpose you're going to clean the data, you're going to like structure the data, and you are going to use algorithms and, if required, visualizations to get the output. So you should always ask what is the objective of the purpose. Fantastic. That being said, so thus Matplotlib helps you to deliver or to abstract visuals of the data to better understanding in a human way. You're getting the data in the machine build, just understand someone who just wants to understand the data or just wants to get an insight of the data. Visualizations can play a huge important role. So we will be creating, and that's the magic of Matplotlib, we'll be creating a line plot. I want you to understand each and every byte of the code, because if you get to understand this Matplotlib code written in front of your screen, I believe the next examples will be smooth as butter. So the very first thing that I'm going to do here is I'm going to import the Matplotlib module. So what I'm going to do, I'm just importing the module from Matplotlib. So from Matplotlib, import what? Python plot. So it's pyplot as PLT. What is PLT? Again, NumPy as NP, Pandas as PD. So pyplot as PLT. I'm storing the functionality of pyplot in the PLT variable. That being said, what I am going to do right now, I'm going to ask for values. So I am just enabling x-axis values stored in A and y-axis values stored in B. That being said, you have to understand that these data are small, but in data science real world project, you're going to connect the data for X and Y. Fantastic. X and Y to understand that what things are doing. And the best part of Matplotlib, you know what? Let me get you. Now I'm adding the function of plot. PLT, what is PLT? PLT is pyplot dot plot. I'm asking the machine to plot something. What are the variables? I'm passing A and B over here. And now that's it, right? That's it. There's nothing, no more codes. I don't want to use what is the background of what is the number situated, or what is the ruler that you want to use, what is the scale you want to use. That's it. PLT dot plot. Dot plot is for line plot. If you want to use line plot, is dot plot A and B, passing the values. I'm asking the function and I'm asking the system to, hey, show me what's the output. So I'm asking the system by plt dot show. There it is, the output. Remember, I have neither just defined the scale, I didn't define whatever things in the background over here, I didn't define anything. I just defined over here only one thing, that is known as plt.plot. Simple, straightforward. So let's just get the reverse understanding, because I want you to understand this example very importantly, because the next few examples will be on pest. And you can, if you understand this one, I hope that also you can understand in a very, very fast way, efficient way, to be honest. I imported the pyplot from Matplotlib, introduced x-axis and y-axis. I'm asking the machine, hey, using the plot function, plot something for me for A and B, and the values are A and B. And I'm asking the machine to plot something and to ask the PLT to show. And here it is. It's so simple to build a line plot on Matplotlib. It's straight in front of your screen. It's so much easy and simple, because the first line, there are, see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 5 lines to build this awesome visualization. Out of those 5 lines, 1 line you have used for importing the library, 2 you have used for Second line you have used for building the x-axis. Third you have used for y-axis. So out of 5 lines, you have just used 3 lines already for not the purpose of building the visualization, but to import the libraries and to import the data. You're using only 1 line to understand, to plot the data. Only 1 line out of 5 lines you're using plot the data of line plot. And the last line you're asking the machine to show the output. Simple as that, and it's crisp and clear. The line plot now just enables you to build line plot functionality in Matplotlib in just a efficient way. But you can definitely see and understand that it saves a lot of time when you compare it to others, and when you are integrating with more and more of the data, right? So the first thing that I did over here, please have a look, and let's just move to histogram. So again, what is the same? Everything is same, because I have imported the matplotlib as pipelog as plt done, imported the y-axis. Just change over here is, since I'm building a histogram, so I'm asking plt.hist b, passing the value of y-axis, asking the machine to show it, and there it is. The only difference over here is plt.plot over here, and here is plt.hist hist. Simple, and it built it for you. So that's the magic of Matplotlib in Python world. That's the magic of what I'm talking about. To build a scatter plot, well, to build a scatter plot, here it is that again we are using Matplotlib to import the functions of pyplot from Matplotlib as plt. We are storing the x-axis over here, y-axis over here, and applying plt dot plot that time to build that line plot. But since we are doing the scatter plot, we will be using plt dot scatter. We will be passing the values of a and b, and we'll ask the machine to show it. Simple. The difference over here you have to understand is just only these lines. plt.plot is for line plot, plt.hist is for histogram, plt.scatter is for scatter plot, and matplotlib bar plot. Same as everything, all you need to have the pass value of a and b into the functions of plt.bar, a and b, and there you go. This is the output, right? So what do we gather from the Matplotlib? Everything remains the same, depends upon the which graph you want. You have to change the function over here. Here it is plt.plot. Here you have plt.hist. Here you have plt.scatter. And at the end you have plt.bar. So what do we have done here? We have completed about what is data science, what are the applications of data science. Third being what is the introduction of, or to be precise, introduction to Numpy with example and output, introduction to pandas with program definition and output, and Matplotlib. Matplotlib creating bar plot, line plot, scatter plot, and histogram. In the last 40 minutes, we have done something that, from the very basic of what is data science to building Matplotlib bar plots. Something that connects to you mind now. By the end of this, I believe I have connected with you what is data science, to deliver the best of the data of insights, whatever is possible, to take the best decisions, and to get you the best visualizations of the data so that the other person can take in charge, or if he or she wants to make any decisions based on the graph. Again, this is not just the end, but in future sessions, we are looking forward to understand data science integrating with machine learning, what it enables you to push forward the technology. The very important questions I always get to understand and get to hear from the students and my colleagues is, what is the impact, or what is the purpose of data science for the future, or what is the scope of data science for the future? To be honest, today's data is tomorrow's future. The data that's been created today is tomorrow's treasure. because it will enable organizations not just to solve problems but also helps you to get customer experience in a better way. Few years ago, when you were shopping online, you were not having a recommendation system. Nowadays, each and every one of us does. Even whenever we want to try to buy something, there is a recommendation going on. It's not that a company builds stuff on data science just to provide recommendation system, but in a reverse way, it is enable you to understand that, hey, if you need this, you can also add that. That is actually enhancing the customer and consumer experience in a total way. Most beautiful lines that technology is imparting to you. And yes, that just being said, I'm really thank you for having me here. And yes, Simon, that was all for today.
Oh my goodness, Shubham. You literally covered the entire ecosystem of the data science, starting from Python, then Matplot, Numpy, and whatnot. And let me ask you this, Shubham. Since in a very short time, we gave an overview of what people usually use, data scientists would use in their day-to-day life, how they actually got started, the skills one someone should possess if they're willing to get their career started into this field. Let me ask you this, Shubham, how long it took you to learn all these?
Well, to be honest, I'm still learning, to be honest, all
Hmm.
these things, because each and every day when we solve problem, there is hit in the mind, hey, can we just bring up the accuracy level to this one? And that's the timing when we add and try modifications to the algorithms. So yeah, if that's a part of a questions from a developer way,
Hmm.
the answer would be to get at least that developer way of level to understand. It took me around 1.5 year.
Okay, okay. So
Yeah.
that's a lot of time, I would say, a lot of commitment,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Uh, I can't do anything
and
for one
uh,
and a half year.
and when if a student is asking to just start with data science project, I would definitely say that with the experience of 7 months on in hands of data science projects, the student can start with a much greater efficiency on integrating for better machine learning projects and all.
Okay, that's good, Shubham. So my another quick question is, I know people use a lot of IDEs, right? So you might be using a lot of IDEs. So what is your favorite go-to tool to for data science?
Fantastic. So okay, so I always prefer to use Jupyter.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I always prefer to use Jupyter, but certain times when I believe that the project will be taking much resources, I
Hmm.
believe I am opting for Google Colab.
Okay, yeah, that's a good. The free, you get free engine,
Yeah, yeah.
right?
And sometimes if I'm not on, like if I'm not on my desktop or PC, and if I am want to do the quick modifications to the code, I want to see how the output, or see want to alter the modifications to get the better accuracy. That quick thing is, I think you will be laughing at this time, but Visual Studio Code with integration of Jupyter extension.
Yeah, I mean, I use it, Shivam, to be honest. I won't laugh, but I used to use Jupyter Labs, right? That
Okay.
entire, I started with Jupyter Notebooks, then I moved the Jupyter Labs that has an entire ecosystem, right? But later on, I figured out that the Visual Studio Code has a very good integration of notebooks, and where you get this Python extensions and all. Since I closely work with Azure, having SQL extensions and Azure extensions really helps me to push my code to cloud. So I am with you, Shivam. I won't laugh at you, but I laugh with you that I sometimes like to use VS Code. Having
Well,
said that,
definitely.
yeah,
Yeah.
go ahead.
So if a student is like going to start with straight away data science, that night motivation, I'm going to do this even by night, right? I believe I can connect with you, right?
Yeah.
So so the very go-to thing without investing much of the time is, I think I'm not sponsoring or doing anything, but the very first thing, you should go and download Anaconda. Solves everything of your problem.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Jupyter,
exactly.
Spider, everything's
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I was pretty dumb. So when I used to install Anaconda, it would always have some extension problem. I don't know. It had it, but yes, my first IDE was Anaconda, and there's also a mini Anaconda that you can go ahead and download it.
Conda.
Make sure that, guys, if you're listening, there's a checkbox that says add variables to your path. That is
Right.
super important. if you don't click on that checkbox, you're going to have a hard time, and that was with me. So great, Shubham. So Shubham, let me ask you this. I won't take much of time. I know you have been speaking almost like for an hour
No, no,
now.
no worries, no worries, no worries.
Let me
Actually,
ask
to
you
be
this.
honest,
Yeah.
it is
Mhm.
my very, I'm very much honored to be here, and whatever things you can just ask me of for the benefits of other people also. I'm looking
Mhm.
forward to solve and answer all those. So it's not just don't take it as a time. I'm
Okay.
open
Okay.
for
So
everything. Yeah.
let me ask you this, Shubham. Since you work on this on a day-to-day basis, right? I mean, this is your job. So what are some of the I would say the challenges that you face? What is the most challenging task or thing about this data science job?
In data science world, we actually do some things known as testing and training.
Yeah.
So when we split the data, there is always 20% and 80%, 60%, 40% training and testing ratios.
Mm-hmm.
But before that, coming to that conclusion, I always think and try to ask somebody who is giving me the data, boss, what is the output you want to get?
Yeah.
Because without asking that question, it is going to take your time. What sort of output? Because that data is huge, and to get
Mm-hmm.
without matching that objective, it's going to not just your time but also resources. So it is very much important for me to understand before starting off any project what is the objective of the project. That's how I work on it, and that's the maximum time I consume. Remember it. That's 50% of my time.
Yeah, going back to the data and checking it, like cleaning, cleansing,
Oh,
cleaning, cleansing, cleaning, cleansing, right? So yeah, so that
and if the
and
data is missing,
oh my goodness. So Shubham, right? So you are more inclined towards Python, right? So what are your thoughts about the other programming language that people really like to use? That is, have you ever used it, or if not, are you planning to explore it? Anything around it?
yeah, just to start with the note, uh, all started with students' life. So I put my hands in every programming language, right?
Yeah.
So there was in that time, I believe it was a time of 2017, and there was a debate every time going on whenever you're trying to choose AI,
Hmm.
Python or R. It is the most famous debate in the data science world, in the AI world.
Yeah.
So to answer that quickly, because now I have at least some of the insights, is that both the tools are fantastic. R is good, Python is good. R is pretty much straightforward to data visualizations. Not
Hmm.
all, but pretty much to data visualization. Best if you want to data visualization, R is best. But if you want to integrate certain things, for example, computer vision, machine learning, I think that integration is possible best in Python.
Yeah, I think I'm 100% with you. As you said, that R is more inclined towards ease of data visualization, but where it comes to Python, it gives you an opportunity to go ahead and use a lot many libraries out there, and it widens your possibilities of getting into the data science ecosystem, and also across it can be web app development, or maybe what people also make games and
Right.
doing data analysis and Power BI and whatnot. So, Shubham, I won't take much of your time. Any final thing you want to add before we end today's session?
I believe whatever things you are going to learn in life, no matter if it's data science or anything, the best time to start is right now.
Wow. Well said, Shivam. That was a very good advice. And with that, we will wrap up this episode of CSharpCorner Show. Shivam, thank you so much for accepting the invitation. It was lovely having you. Really enjoyed meeting you, and I hope to see you in person very soon. If you some anytime visit the
Sure.
capital, let us know. We'll hang around, or else we have MEPs there in West Bengal. They will see Saha and all. We can do a meetup
Yeah.
over there. That shouldn't be a problem. So let's stay connected. And thank you so much, everyone who has joined.
Thank
We
you
will
for
see
having
you.
me and thank you for this opportunity. Very much looking
Yeah.
forward to have you meet in person and serving the community.
All right. Thank you, everyone. Ta-ra. Bye.
Bye.